Good evening to everyone. We are at the GoN IFF, the Gulf of Naples Independent Film Festival, and we have the honor and pleasure to have with us Miss Jayne Hufschmid, who is the producer and the co-writer of the winner documentary, which is Saffron Robe. And so we are going to make some questions and to have a short talk with Miss Hufschmid. So I will read some questions for you. Thank you. So
I just would like to say thank you very much for having us here. We were really very honored to be accepted into this film festival. And then we got the letter that said we won an award. And you just said documentary. We don't know what award. But anyway, I heard that.
Okay.
Well, it's very nice.
Yeah. Okay. So Miss Hufschmid, can I ask you something about your work, which is very important because the topic is very important for our periods, for our social period, historical period, etc. So I'm going to read the first question for you. The first is, the most important thing is to be faithful to your heart, says Abbot Onekeo Sittivong. That's a real big thought, a sort of way of living life. So the question is the following one. Is it possible to practice this idea today according to what you have experienced while filming this documentary?
I do think that we can all practice our truth. I know that when we began filming this documentary, the director, Jane Centofante, and I and the other co-producer, Craig Buttram, we had no experience in documentary filmmaking and any kind of filmmaking at all. But there was something about the story that touched us, that we felt it was a story that needed to be told. And so I think that we just followed our own truth, and we believed that even though we didn't have a film background, that the story would come together, and that we would find the people also that could help us bring the story to an audience.
Yeah.
So I do think you can follow your truth.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. So it's a spontaneous way of filming, in a way.
It was a very spontaneous way of filming. Our director had initially gone over to Laos because she had a friend who had been working there for many years. And she was introduced to many different people. And when she came back, she just had these incredible stories. And we kept saying, oh my God, that should be a film, and that should be a film, and that should be a film. We need to tell people the stories. And so we went back over, and we sort of introduced ourselves. We looked at what was happening. We made sure that we would, that we would be able to tell the story that we felt needed to be told. And we also had to earn the trust of the people who were there.
Yeah.
They had to trust that we would tell the story in a way that was true to the school, to the abbot, to the young men that we were, who were trusting us with this story. And so, yes,
very interesting story. And how long did it take to film this?
It took 10 years.
10 years?
It did take 10 years. From the initial visit of our director to when we really wrapped the film and said, okay, we have to finish now.
Wow.
It was 10 years. And part of that is because we were following these boys. We met them when, they were very young.
Yeah.
And we wanted to see what would happen, what difference this school was going to make in their lives.
Yeah.
And with some of the boys, it made a huge difference. With other boys, life got sort of intervened, COVID intervened, and they went back to their villages, and they did not go back to school.
Yeah.
But it needed that time in order to really see what would happen with these boys.
To follow their path.
Yes, to follow their path. And also, it took, a little bit of time also to earn the trust of the abbot.
Yeah.
You know, I think he needed to see us there. He needed to see us working. He needed to see how we respected the Buddhist traditions of the not of the school, but of Buddhism. And so it took time.
Yeah, of course. And so you think that it can be difficult for a Buddhist to be confident, to put the confidence into, a Western person or just Western people, or
no, I don't think that that's an issue. I just think that anyone knew, whether they're Buddhist or non-Buddhist, whether they're from the East or whether they're from the West. I think that they just want to get to know you a little bit, and they want to know that what you're doing, to use your term before, is coming from the heart. That we were going to fairly represent what was happening with the school and what its history was.
Well, and the result was amazing, actually. And I was very surprised about the tourism, and the fact that, for example, we saw during the documentary some scenes where the young novices have their mobile phones and they film, and they are like our, the children and adolescents that we used to know here, in our country. So it was strange to me personally to see such scenes. And so, what was your particular impression?
Well, I think with the tourism, for us it was always shocking to see so many people who didn't bother to understand sort of what it means to respect Buddhism, to respect these young boys, to respect the temples. And so to me, that was always very shocking. You see these long lines of Westerners, and not just Westerners, sometimes also from the East. And they would be doing the alms ceremonies where they're giving the food to the young boys, and to the monks. And at times they play with the food. Now this is food that these boys go back to their monasteries. This is their meals. This is their their only meals. So to me, it was shocking that a lot of times the tourists aren't educated, so that they, to use sort of a Buddhist term, they don't have the right intent in gifting that food to the monks and to these young boys. And as far as them, and not just the young boys, also the monks will just pull out their phones, right? The older monks, they'll just pull out their phone. And it always was surprising to us also, because you see them in these beautiful saffron robes, and they look all so well put together, and then all of a sudden their hand goes in, that comes the phone. But in the end, these boys are teenagers, and they're very curious and want to know about the modern world. They want to use modern technologies.
Of course.
Most of these boys will not be monks. Most of these boys will, once they're finished with their education, will disrobe, and whether they go back to their villages or whether they get jobs in the smaller towns or the larger towns, their interest really is more the education and how that's going to change their lives, the opportunities that's going to bring them. And the parents also are very interested in that, and so in that respect, it's not surprising that they, and also, to call their families, but talk, and tell, it's just what the world is now.
Okay. So thank you, because you showed it very clearly, and we thank you for this, this amazing documentary, which is one of our favorites.
Oh, thank you very
much. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.